What's up, guys? Key trades is January 28th. As you can see in the title of the video, how to avoid a losing streak. All right, we went 0 for 1 yesterday. Totally fine. Today in the AM, we took a loss. Totally fine. So how did we come back in the PM with 2 wins and be green on the day and green on the week? This is how you avoid a losing streak. Right, in my opinion, 3 losses in a row is a losing streak. We were at 2. We were about to go for a losing streak. We tightened up. Right, the number one thing is the psychology, right? I said great comeback, guys. Right? We were 0 for 2 coming into this PM, right? Yesterday loss, today AM loss. But I said we stayed composed, we waited for our clear model, and we came back and banged 2 wins. That's what you do. The psychology behind it is what? Playing statistics. We cannot control the market. We know these models are profitable. We know these models will in the long run. So we take a loss. So be it, right? What do? Come back to PM composed. Wait for our clear trades, and we will win and get it back. And that's exactly what we did. And coming into my pre-market plan, again, both plans pretty much hit today. I was first looking for a potential short lower down to these levels. We ended up sweeping out one level and then finding the long reversal. And these targets got hit as well. I was waiting to see how we act at news, and I ended up taking that trade off the open for a short. But that's besides the point. So coming into why I wanted to look short originally was for the fact that we had a 1 hour fair value gap here. And coming into the pre-market and in the market open, we ended up seeing a rejection. So my target was this 22,119 level here. And that was my main point for sell side. And then also obviously targets lower that didn't get met. And the trade I took personally off the open was my 5-minute model. We ended up sweeping out these minor highs, rejecting off the 5-minute. Once I saw aggressive selling instantly hit, I ended up grabbing a short before the inversion because I had confidence that the market was going to run lower. And then I ended up taking it out at internal targets for a quick scalp. But that's the trade that we took today. All right, and then we were looking for a long reversal. And my targets were 21,423 to fill the 4-hour imbalance. So in the higher time frames, right, I'm looking at the fact that we attempted yesterday to fill this high, and we attempted and swept it, but still haven't met this 4-hour imbalance yet. So my main narrative draw today was this 53, oh, my fault, 423. Oh yeah, my fault, not 53, yeah. 21,423 to fill this 4-hour imbalance. This was my main target, which is just the pre-market high. And we ended up getting a model that came in. And I looked towards this 1-minute fair, my fault, 5-minute fair value gap for a continuation model, as I call it in the plan, and we just did not get it. Right? Although we respected the 5-minute inverse, and we saw this inverse setup, I just decided to stay off because I look at it this way. If my plan wants to see us respect this, draw into the 5-minute and then inverse, if I want to see this, and let's say I take this setup at the candle close and get long, and let's say I get stopped out, that is worse than me just missing out on the trade. Because why? I should be confident in my model. I should be confident in what I wanted to see. Yes, the respect to the 5 inverse, and this is our model, but I originally wanted to see this. So I decided to stay disciplined. Right, and we ended up getting a good quality trade, and it just had to chop us out, and that's totally fine. Again, understanding the target 425 has been met, and we did not get a trade. That's totally fine. So I look towards the higher time frames. And we end up closing a 15-minute fair value gap. ES failed to reprice to this 15-minute, so we end up having an SMT, respect of the 15-minute, and we inversed. So I grabbed long with my stop here. My target, these 2 highs. And you can see that we got stop hunted, right? We literally hit our stop loss, and then it ripped our scale break even point, kind of messed around a bit, respected the 15, and then drew the full plan. But what psychology does that lie to? That lies on this. I cannot control the outcome. This is a SMT 15-minute model with the inverse. This is a great quality setup, and we were right. And if you notice, majority of our losing trades, like the one on Friday, the trade is right. The market chops around a bit. It doesn't deliver smoothly, and that's totally fine. Would I have given this trade a 32-point risk? Probably not, right? At a scale we put 25 point, it doesn't make sense. So I'm totally fine with taking that loss. So we had one loss yesterday and one loss today. So now we're teetering on that potential losing streak. So what did we do come PM? We said, you know what? It sucks. We were right, and that's what I want for us. I want for my trade losses to be right, and the market's just inefficient delivery, and I can't control that. So what did we do come to the PM? We showed up with composure. And we were totally fine taking a losing day. And when you have the mindset of being okay with a lost day, oftentimes you're going to get a great quality setup. So 2 setups here. Number 1 is my short price. So understand the narrative of this. We look for this trade very, very often. And it's when we close at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So at 11 a.m., when this candle opens up, I am looking for a reprice down to a higher time frame imbalance. This meaning the 1 hour fair value gap we closed. So on live, again, I can't prove that I said it on live, but I said it, is I wanted to look for a short to reprice to the 1 hour and then long continuation. And we caught both setups. Our short model, pretty simple. Again, I did take a trade at this 1 minute fair value gap, but that's besides the point, right? We had a 5-minute continuation model, right? We ended up forming this 5-minute fair value gap, and we ended up stacking some lows, 2 minor equal lows at this area with this 1 hour imbalance here. Classic model for us, right? We end up breaking above the 5-minute, but where do we close? Down here. Aggressive selling pressure. Once we inversed with a counter closure, I got short, and I put my stop at these highs. 9 times out of 10, I would place my stop here or here. But because we knew the market wasn't going to deliver, it wasn't going to deliver smooth. It was going to be inefficient, and we knew we wanted this trade to be a scalp trade. But I didn't look for the scalp because I knew it wasn't going to deliver smooth. So we ended up giving it a risk up here, a 1-to-1, chopped around a bit, and then we got our TP hit around here looking for the break to the 1 hour. So we got a loss in the AM. We came back and we ended up being able to go break even and make it back. And now what does my next trade look? Would be the long from the 1 hour, right? Again, 11 o'clock hits and we have a bullish market. If we want to see higher prices on the higher time frame, it makes sense to fill this imbalance before making a move higher. So we took the short trade to a price to the 1 hour. And now that we got that, we had a long model we're looking for. And it comes in 3 different points of entry. Number 1 is going to be the early entry inverse, right? These 1040 lows were not swept on ES. So we had an SMT along with that respect of that 1 hour fair value gap. So this would fit what? My continuation model off a higher time frame and my SMT inverse. So here was the early entry call at this inverse or this bullish. And you might think I'm lying, but we had one of our mentors in here, Dom, take a long. Instead of waiting for the inverse close, which I would have got long here, he took it right here. And let me show you that proof, which is pretty crazy stuff. See that? He longed that gap, right? He longed this gap, 531, got in. And let me go back real quick, and you can also see that he took profits on the full trade. He caught around 55 points. But that's besides the point, right? Early entry. I did not call this entry. I said it's a potential, but I wasn't wanting to say, okay, get in here. I would wait for what? More confluence, right? If we respected where we took our short, this 5-minute fair value gap bearish, I was waiting for the inverse. If we get the inverse close above, it is almost certain that we're likely to run the high on the day. So once we got that inverse, that's what I called the long for members to get in. Market inverse closes, and then you get the long. And there was one more point of entry that you could have had. Because we've inversed and we've held this 5-minute inverse, but we failed to find this aggressive buying just yet. We failed to find this aggressive buying. And then we did what? We closed a 5-minute bullish fair value gap, right? Because the market did not find aggressive buying out of this inverse, I said it's likely to a price to the 5-minute before making the move higher. And we had a member take the 5-minute long entry, which is honestly a bottom wick long as well, right? We had two members here take a bottom wick entry long at 33 and another bottom wick entry long here at the 5-minute. And then we had a member take the inverse. So we had members take all three of the potential entries. Targets, right, could be this high, and then obviously full TP at the highs. But again, we went from losing a trade, which I am not upset about. That is my model. And we were 2 losses in the week. And it sucks because we've had 3 green weeks and everything's been good. And it sucks. Come up to PM composed. We wait for our narrative, wait for our trades. We catch a nice quality short reprise, and then we catch the full swing long to the upside. That's beautiful stuff. And that is how you avoid a losing streak. By staying disciplined. By waiting for your model. By understanding that if I take a loss, so long it was my A+ setup, so long as I have clear narrative, so long as it was my trade, I can't control that. And the target ended up being hit anyways. But so be it. But that's going to be it for January 20th video. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. And if you want to join the Discord, we have a link in the bio. We'd be happy to have you. Until next time, guys. Peace out.